Hello children and welcome to today's session. In today's session, we are going to learn about that form of life on earth that forms the basis without which the other life forms cannot survive. Yes, you guessed it right. We are talking about plants today. Plants form the basis of all life on earth. This is because plants are the primary producers. Plants produce their own food, and this food is consumed by animals and human beings, either directly or indirectly. So, plants produce their food with a process known as photosynthesis. Plants absorb sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water from the surroundings, and they produce food in the form of starch. Now, sometimes these plants use up all this food, and at other times they store it in various plant parts like the leaves, the flowers, and the fruit. And these are the plants that are eaten by us and the animals. So, in this chapter, we are going to learn about growing plants. So, how is it that one after the other, year after year, the plants are grown in huge fields? Year after year, you get a regular supply of your favorite vegetables, your favorite fruits. How do these plants keep on growing? Obviously, like animals and human beings, plants also have a fixed lifespan. Plants की भी एक fixed life होती है जिसके बाद plants die. तो दोबारा से नेक्स्ट सीजन में आपको प्लांट्स की वजह से फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स कैसे मिलते हैं दिस इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न अबाउट इन दिस चैप्टर सो लेट्स बिगिन with the first topic which talks about reproduction in plants. To understand reproduction in plants, we will watch a short video. In this video, we are going to learn about reproduction in plants. So just like all living beings, plants also reproduce. They give birth to new plants. This happens in three ways: by seeds, body parts, and spores. Now let us understand about plants like mango, orange, tomato that reproduce by seeds. These seeds may be one or many, as in case of papaya. These seeds grow into new plants when they get sufficient air, warmth, and water. A seed has three main parts. The outermost covering of the seed is known as the seed coat. It protects the plant inside. After the seed coat is the second layer, which is known as cotyledons. Cotyledons or seed leaves are the part which stores food for the baby plant. We have to understand that if all the seeds start growing close to each other, they are going to fight for air, warmth, and space. They will not be able to grow properly. That is the reason it is important for seeds to disperse, matlab scatter away from the mother plant. And this is done by many different kinds of agents. Seeds like that of sycamore have got wings, dandelion have got hair. These seeds are carried away by wind. Now consider the example of seeds like that of coconut, which has got a thick husk on it, and the seeds of lotus plant, which are very spongy. These are carried away by water. Human beings, animals, and insects also feed on plants. Some seeds like that of burdock have got hair that stick to the body of animals or birds that are feeding on the plants. So when the bird is traveling from one place to another, or the animal is traveling from one place to another, they drop these seeds. And whenever these seeds find the right soil, air, warmth, water, etc., they grow into new plants. Seeds of peas and beans disperse by explosion. The entire fruit explodes and the seeds are spread all around the plant, which leads to growth of new plants. So this was about dispersal of seeds. Dispersal of seeds is very, very important so that the plants continue to get the right amount of air, water, warmth, and space. Inside is the baby plant that grows into a new plant, as we just discussed. in case of plants like peas and beans, they have two cotyledons. These plants are called dicotyledon plants. In other plants like that of wheat and rice, the seed has only one cotyledon, and these are known as monocotyledon plants. Now that we have learned how seeds produce new plants, let us understand how reproduction in plants takes place by other parts also. Now, the first part that we are going to study is root. Roots also give rise to new plants, especially in case of plants like carrot, radish and dahlia. So, if you soak the root in water for some time and then you put it in soil, the root will give rise to fresh roots and a new baby plant. The second category is stem. Some plants such as rose, hibiscus and sugarcane can grow into new plants by stem cutting. But the stem cutting has to be planted at the right season depending on the different plants. The third category is of underground stems. You must have seen in case of potato and ginger have got eyes on them. These eyes are nothing but points from where the new plant comes out. So, if you see old potatoes lying in your house, you would see a tiny plant coming out of these buds. The next kind of reproduction in plants that we see is reproduction by leaves. In case of leaves like that of bryophyllum, tiny little plants come out from the edges of the leaf tip. This is called reproduction by leaves. Plants like fungi, fern and moss reproduce by producing spores. These spores explode in the environment, especially during summer season, and they settle in various places. जहाँ जहाँ इनको सही conditions of air, warmth and water मिलती हैं, these grow into a new plant. Now, why do we need to understand so much about plants is to understand and help in agriculture. The growing of crops on a large scale is known as agriculture. These crops are grown in order to feed the large human population on the entire globe. There are two main seasons in which crops are planted during the entire year. The first season is the season of Kharif crops. Kharif crops like rice, jowar, bajra and maize depend heavily on monsoon rain for their growth. For this reason, these plants are grown between June to October. The next kind is called Rabi crop. Rabi crops are grown from winter season from November to April. The examples are wheat, pea and gram. Growing healthy crops is a very important thing. Reason being, the farmer puts in so much of effort in planting the crops. But if these crops are infected by insects or they are washed away by rain, the entire effort goes waste. So let us learn here what are the ways of growing healthy crops. The first thing is to use healthy ripe seeds. Good quality seeds give rise to good quality plants. The second is to give the right amount of water to the plant. Some plants like paddy or rice need a lot of standing water while they are growing. Others just need very little water. The next is the use of manures and fertilizers. As much natural fertilizers as the farmer can use, he should use to provide nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium to the plants. And last, the weeds have to be removed from the field. This is because अगर weeds grow करते रहेंगे तो जो share of nutrients for the plants है वो share weeds ले लेंगे. So in this chapter we have learned how plants reproduce by seeds, different body parts and spores. We have learned about agriculture, Kharif and Rabi crops, and we have also learned the ways in which we can grow healthy crops. Thank you.